Second chances are fine, maybe the occasion.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start this game off with the Comfy Bum Cup Raffle. Get your tickets ready. The winning number is 2701036. That's 2701036.
Randy Joe.
All right, we have a winner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this show underway. Welcome to Game 2 of tonight's varsity doubleheader against the Cobras from Carrabec. It's okay to clap. Senior number 42, Desmond Robinson. Senior number 12, Michael Caldwell. And senior number 3, Seth Price. All right, let's hear some real cheering now for our Telstar Rebels. Starting off, junior number 23, Jonathan Marshall. Junior number 2, Carrabec. Senior number 1, Riley Hedden. Senior number 00, Brady Kellogg. And senior number 4, Brody Morgan.
All right, good evening and welcome back to tonight's conclusion.
Looks like we have a new official on the floor, Danny, if you're just joining us, sorry.
The Carrabec Cobras versus the Telstar Rebels, and the winner of the comfy seat raffle was thinking that she could do the tip-off too, so.
It's kind of like throwing the honorary first pitch of the baseball game, maybe.
Yeah, something that the official had never seen before.
So for the Carrabec boys, we have Jackson Newton, Seth Price, Logan Caldwell, Pete Vincier, and Desmond Robinson on the floor.
And for the Rebels, as Coach Kimball told us earlier, they're going with two bigs today, Grady Kellogg, Johnny Marshall, Brody Morgan, Connor Dupre, and Riley Hedden, who's back off of sickness from last week. And Andy, we expect, we're here actually on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11, YouTube as well. And I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney. Jewel Clark's on the camera. Brooks Morton and Josh Morton are helping us behind the scenes. And that was number 2 with the bucket for Carrabec.
Jackson Newton.
Jackson Newton. And Andy, we're expecting a good one here. The Carrabec is 11-3, the Rebels are 9-4, and it should be a good battle.
Yeah, absolutely. The Rebels getting better, one of their starters back recently, Riley Hedden. And that's number 2 again.
Jackson Newton.
He's got a quick 5 points off the start of the game here.
Rebels starting in that man. Coach Kimball said they would stick with the full court man, I believe, was the plan.
Yeah, he was talking about running at a fast pace and pressing, and there's Riley Hedden. That's a good shot for him.
Good board there by Cooper, Brody Morgan for 2.
Rebels, as you can see in that full court man, that's one of Brody's specialties. He's real good at that.
We're gonna have to keep an eye on this matchup here with Jackson Newton and Johnny Marshall. I don't love that to start here, based on what I've seen out of Newton so far, just quickness-wise.
Sure.
But we'll see what happens. Rebels may have to make an adjustment there. Again, Marshall has the skill and the size, but Newton seems like he's quick and he's a shooter, and I'm not sure that's Marshall's strength, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, he'll have to try to lean on his length to maybe make up for that, but you can see Newton knows that. He's calling him off. He's looking for a pick to use his quickness to get by Marshall. So the Rebels, they may want to switch their man assignment here. At some
Although
point,
they're all the Cobras look relatively quick, but yeah, I think we'll see how Marshall does. But early on, it looks like Newton's going to try to isolate himself and use his speed against Marshall.
Sure, and the Rebels can
Good
do
help there.
The same thing on the offensive side. Marshall's got the offense. This is a mismatch for him too. So he's got to get the ball. He can get the ball down low, and he's going to have that advantage. So the Rebels need to return the favor.
Yeah, and that last shot was forced due to good help side defense by Brody Morgan. And speaking of that, we're going to be looking for a defensive player of the game here for the Rebels. It's a tradition we do each home game. Last game is Connor Dupre, and he's leading the team in those awards. I think he and Brody are the only two to actually get them. So maybe we can get Johnny Marshall or one of the other guys to sneak in for one. So.
Sure. I didn't see the fouls on.
I think it was on Brody.
Yeah, save this for. I'm not sure. Brody fell. I'm not sure how he fouled anybody there.
Yeah, it looked like the feet might have got tangled up a little bit. One of those calls that you kind of the Cobra.
Nice look.
And there's the mismatch. The Cobras. The Cobras got the ball off of that play, so as the official, you almost have to call it just because it was a turnover.
Yeah. And the Rebels, their press there forces that turnover. Cobras try to go over the top, but just too long. It's a hard pass to make. So if that's all the Rebels are going to give up, then they'll be.
And I noticed already the Cobras have already switched Newton off of Marshall.
Yes.
I still think Marshall can take advantage of the matchup.
Like
the
he
two
did
there for Johnny. But you can see the Cobras already trying to adjust to Marshall. Rebels up 1, 3 minutes here.
And you watch, if they keep going to him inside, it's going to open up the outside for Dupre and Hedden, and they're going to get some wide open shots.
Good steal there by Morgan, and then
That's dangerous.
I like it. He's got the size advantage. Again, Kellogg and Marshall are both going to be able to do what they want inside, I think. There's another good steal by Morgan.
Yeah.
Good take. Kicks it out to Hedden. He's got to get out of the paint. He does.
Yeah, Marshall's got the advantage there. That's a good shot. We want him to take that, I think. You don't know? You disagree?
He had Hedden on the wing. I don't love him leaning like that. Rather see him either go straight up or get to the hoop. Kellogg with the board. Hedden looking to push.
Nice move there by Hedden.
He lowered his shoulder a little bit. There's an example of that rule change where the defensive player doesn't have to be set.
Yeah, and there's no arch in high school basketball like you see in the NBA.
And so Carrabec's going to take an early timeout here, and we'll take that to see if Jewel can span up to the sponsors for us up above the home bleachers. And Andy, we want to thank all the businesses up there who have chosen to sponsor the Rebels. That money goes to the boosters, and the boosters help support all the athletic programs here at Telstar. So anybody out there listening, any businesses or others out there interested in helping out?
I'd also go ahead.
Or sponsoring a banner. The best way to contact us would be to email us at cleancutpaintingcompany.com or cleancutpaintingcompany@gmail.com, and we'll get you in touch with the boosters.
Yeah, and I'd also like to throw a good shout out there to Pie Hole over on Mayville Road in Bethel, right on Route 2 there. They donate all the pizzas here to the boosters who are selling them in the snack shack tonight. So always appreciate their donation.
Yeah, that's a big donation. He does 4 or 5 pizzas every single home game, which is quite the accomplishment. And they're one of the sponsors up on that wall. So yeah, definitely visit them. Hedden here with the ball.
Nice look.
There's Dupre. That's the shot he wants.
Yep. And that's inside out. Hedden gets in. He gets the penetration, opens it up on the outside for Dupre.
Rebels in the man press.
Good hustle by Morgan to get back and stop that fast break. That's the one thing that we heard Coach Kimball talking about it in the JV in the girls game. Is that you can give up that fast break, so the Rebels do a good job hustling to stop that.
And Marshall so far doing a nice job on Newton.
Yeah.
Newton continues to call for isolation, but Marshall's done a good job of containing him.
And the Rebels do have a size advantage here, so if they can, it might allow them a little bit of help. And that's a good block by Hedden on the backside there.
Logan Caldwell with the ball, skips it across to Vincieri. Caldwell over to Vincieri for three.
Nope. Good board by Dupre.
Morgan with the ball,
nope.
And he's going to draw a foul. The Rebels ball underneath. 9-5, Rebels up here. 2 minutes, 44 seconds to play in the first.
Let's see what they can run coming off the inbounds play here.
We had Cooper Morgan check in for Grady Kellogg a couple minutes ago. Cooper with a big game on Friday against the Bobcats. He had 19 points all in the second half. Heading for three.
It's a good shot. And again, I don't want the Rebels to, they just got to keep up this balance. So far, they've got a couple outside shots, couple inside shots. Just keep that going.
Rebels double here.
Yeah, that man's wide open somewhere. And Carrabec found him, but.
Good take there by number 14 for the Cobras, Pete Vincieri. And I'm probably not saying that last name correctly, so I do apologize if they're listening. Hedden, showing off his ball skills there. He draws the foul. Rebels missed his ball skills a little bit on Friday, I think. They had trouble. I mean, they played a great game, but they had a little trouble at times with the press. And they were missing his ball handling, so good to see him back and healthy. Coach did say his minutes might be a little limited today, but we haven't seen him sub in yet. Morgan in the corner, nice. Good take. Good to see Brody being aggressive here.
Yeah. Oh, more points in the paints for the Rebels.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I don't like
Johnny
that.
Marshall there. I thought good D. He tripped up a little bit and might have fallen into him a little bit, but he wouldn't have got the ball, in my opinion.
As is always key for the Rebels, they got to stay out of foul trouble, especially the bigs.
And there's that.
That's good.
Marshall with the steal.
Oh boy, that's a dangerous pass.
Not a great decision there. Vincieri with the ball. That's deep three by Newton.
Yeah. And it'll be Rebels ball, as you probably heard the crowd.
And we don't have ages or classes for the Carrabec teams. I don't know what grade any of these folks are in.
I believe Newton was either a junior or a senior.
There's Morgan for three. He's got 7 points early. It's good to see him being aggressive.
Yeah, and then Carrabec pushes it. Oh, great job by Hedden. I think Carrabec would have had numbers if they got that pass through, but that's going to be Telstar ball.
Rebels retain possession. Rebels open up a double-digit lead here, 17-10. Minute to play in the first period.
And I think Carrabec's record, they're a good team. The Rebels have to keep pouring it on here. They can't take their foot off the gas.
That's a good look from Dupre, but I will say that's not. I don't know that's his strength there, the pull-off jumper off the dribble. We've talked about in the past. His strength is that catch and shoot. So let's see if the Rebels can make a little adjustment there. And now off these inbounds, Dupre likes to get back to the corner for that three. So we'll see if the Rebels do that.
Good. Tough pass, but they got it right. Yeah, he's open.
There's Hedden.
It's a good shot. Good board by Morgan. Nice. That's a great possession for the Rebels. I mean, I'll take that all day long. And great defense. Getting his hands up in the passing lane. Coaches are always telling the players that. They're teaching when you're on defense, your hands need to always be up. It makes you a bigger person. It's kind of like it's like a dog when their fur rises on the back and they need to appear bigger. Well, that's what a defender's supposed to do on the basketball court. Keep the hands up and keep them in those lanes, and that's what Hedden did there.
And Newton thought that might be back court, but it's not. It wasn't touched, so you're allowed to inbound it all the way past half court there, right, Andy?
Yes, you are. In fact, you don't usually see it from the baseline, but oftentimes on the side out you'll see him and just intentionally go back there.
And that fur analogy is one that I haven't heard before. So
that's awesome. That was great.
That's an interesting approach, but.
Well, we're up here in the sticks, so.
Morgan with the ball, swings it over to Dupre.
And the Rebels have hopefully going for the last shot here, 18 seconds. You know, if they get a layup, they'll take it. As
Good
they
take
did
there by Dupre.
10 seconds. Don't foul, Marshall.
5 seconds to play here. Marshall
You
needs
hear Coach Kimball yelling at him not to foul.
Good help there by Hedden.
That's
not
a
gonna
good
go.
D.
So a great start there for the Rebels. 21-7
Yeah,
after the first period. And,
Carrabec got off to a quick 5-0 start and been all Rebels since
Yeah,
then.
21-2 run since then. I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney. Joe Clark's on the camera. Josh Morton and Brooks Morton behind the scenes. We're here on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11, and YouTube. And Andy, one thing we didn't mention is that the Rebels are down, I don't know that he's their sixth man, but sixth or seventh for sure, Dakota Cielo. He is out with a groin injury, Coach Kimball said, so he's not playing tonight. But the Rebels, with heading back, haven't missed a beat so far.
Yeah, he was definitely a contributor to the Friday game. Played a big role there, just his hustle, his defense. So I'm sure they miss him, but like you said, they're getting by so far, and they just got to keep their foot on the gas.
Yeah, and hopefully he'll be back because I will say, I think he did have probably his best game of the year on Friday.
Yeah,
so.
it always stinks when you have a player who really goes out there, they have a great game, and then for one reason or another, they got to miss the next game. But
so the Rebels are going to start the second with Brody Morgan, Cooper Morgan, Connor Dupre, Riley Hedden, and Johnny Marshall.
Those ladies look comfortable on that.
yeah,
Yeah, the couch winners are happy to be there. I think that's Ellie is one of them.
yes, it is.
Ellie, can't think of the last name, but another three by Hedden.
Oh, it was a good board.
by
Morgan with the big board. Get it, hustle. He almost had it.
Cobra's trying to climb back in here. 21-7.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of adjustments they've made coming out of that quarter, and see how their biggest struggle was the Rebels created a lot of turnovers with that press. So we'll see what the Cobras have done to try to make up for that.
Yeah, the Rebels are really the second half of Friday night's game is definitely carried over to the first half here defensively for the Rebels. The intensity is there.
And that's what we kind of need to see. And as long as they can keep up their aggression without fouling, we'll be just fine.
And being told by some sources that the ladies on the couch are Ellie Andrews and Grammy Joe, and I guess that's Johnny's grandmother and Grady Kellogg's grandmother. So,
well, it's good to see them enjoying a nice, comfortable seat here
while they watch the grandkids play. Is that a three there by number 14 for the Cobras?
Pete Vincier, and he's got 5. The Rebels just need to take their time, get that ball, a little inside-out action, and get a good shot off.
Heading there, got away with a little bit of travel, pokes it free. Cobras looking to push. Rebels do a good job getting back. Cobras swing it to the corner. Good take there by number 4, Colton Skeeve for the Cobras. Johnny Marshall's going to come back in here. Dupre inside to Kellogg. Back to Dupre.
Shoot that.
That's deep.
Yeah, it is deep, but it's a good shot. The only thing that Dupre could do better there is just maybe be a little closer to begin with when he catches the ball. But
good hands there.
Good job by Hedden. Watch him.
Hedden corrals it. Good look. Dupre. That's good look by Hedden.
Yeah.
Brody's there again. That's Brody's probably 4th or 5th offensive board.
And that's huge. It's so demoralizing to the defense when they give up a rebound, and it's so invigorating for the offense.
Morgan for 2. Good look there from Dupre. There's a little bit of that was almost a pick and roll.
Yeah, and it was great. It's great to see Morgan get rewarded for all his hard work.
Yeah, Morgan's the Rebels' leading scorer here with 11. Dupre there. So again, we talked about the defensive player of the game as Johnny Marshall and Reggie Billings check in. And right now, I think there's 3 or 4 Rebels that are in the running. I think Hedden's done a nice job with some poking the ball free here and there. Johnny Marshall's doing a good job on the Cobras' best offensive player. And then, of course, Brody and Connor are the steady two that are always right there.
Yeah, and we've got 31 checking in for the Rebels. That'd be Reggie Billings.
Yep. I did just say that.
Oh, sorry.
I'll let it slide.
I guess listening's not a real fine skill of mine, so. At least that's what I've been told.
Reggie with the ball, flips it to Brody. Brody up top, looking to go to work on number 12 for the good look inside. Oh, and that's where I want to see Johnny go, right to the hoop.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
We'll take a three instead. What do we know?
The only thing I'd like to see him when he catches the ball up there, try to keep it up there.
Yeah, and just go right up with it.
Right.
That's Brody with the three. Big half for him. He's got 14 already of the Rebels 26. 26-12 here. Rebels on top. 4.5 minutes to play in the second.
I think the Rebels gave up a offensive board there, Carrabec.
Newton. Good D by the Rebels.
Yeah, it's that when you said it, it's good D because they stayed straight up. That easily could have been a foul. And I'd like to see a foul called on that one. I think there was a lot of arm on that shot.
Marshall's got to get back. He does.
They give a baseline though there, Danny. That's not great. So far, the Rebels have showed good discipline underneath there and staying straight up.
Cobra set it up top. Newton swings it over to Caldwell. Back to Pete. Pete Vinceri.
A deep shot. The Rebels got to get some defensive boards here, though. They're giving the Cobras way too many opportunities.
Newton to the basket. That's too easy.
Yeah, it's just too many opportunities.
That's Jackson Newton. I think he's their leading scorer.
He is. He's got 7 right now.
26-14. Rebels on top. Morgan with the ball. Marshall with the screen. That's another 3 for Morgan.
They got to get back. That's the deep one, but the Rebels got away with it there because of their up-court pressure, but not sure who's taking the timeout there.
I think it's Carrabec. I didn't see a signal from Carrabec, but I think it's the Cobras. No, I guess it's White, so maybe Coach Kimball just looking to give the guys a blow.
Well, I think he probably saw that defensive breakdown. They kind of got away with one there that easily could have been a way up for the Cobras, but.
So the Rebels off to a fast start here, ahead 29-14. About 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Rebels in that stifling man-to-man, full-court man-to-man defense. Cobras not having any issues breaking the press, but just can't seem to find a rhythm offensively.
Yeah, the Rebels have done a good job staying straight up. The Cobras have gotten some penetration. They've gotten some layups, but the Rebels have done a good job defending those layups without fouling.
Cobras staying steady in just a half-court man. We'll see if they make any adjustments as the game goes on. Morgan looking to post up Vinceri.
Yep, that's a good
flash by Marshall for 2. Doesn't go.
All right, that's just a touch shot there. He's got to keep taking it though.
Yeah, and again, I'd almost rather see him collect himself, get set, and go up straight rather than fading.
Yeah.
I think he's more effective when he's going towards the basket.
Well, I think you make a good point there.
Good take by Newton. So again, I think Johnny's doing a really nice job overall on good take there by Brody on Newton. But a couple times he has been beaten. It's just a speed advantage for Newton. And Morgan's really having a huge game right now.
And the Rebels are doing a good job pushing here.
Yeah.
Well, had been.
Yeah, and Brody, I think maybe Brody was motivated by his brother's big second half on Friday.
I guess so. He's trying to outdo him in the first half.
And he has. I think he's got 19 right now. But we'll tally it up at halftime. But Brody's really having a great game to start. Dupre up top. Yeah, I don't love that pass, but Marshall catches it. Back to Billings, back to Dupre, over to Morgan. One more to other Morgan. Good ball movement there by the Rebels. I like that. I like that shot. Didn't fall, but that's a good possession.
But the Rebels got to get back.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're received a text from the crowd that brotherly competition can sometimes factor in, sort of like, you wanting to be as good of an announcer as me, but just not quite being able to.
That's correct, yes. Yeah, I've been going home and practicing every night, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, if you keep practicing, someday you'll get there. Dupre with a jump shot, and there's that off the dribble. I mean, if it goes, it goes.
Yeah, he's been working on it. You know, it's a good skill to add to your game because it's just helpful. Oh, I don't like those lob passes, Danny. Those always make me nervous.
I don't mind that shot by Brody. He's done hot. Cooper Morgan with the board. He flips it in for a bucket. His first of the game.
Rebels looking to double team with it. Create the steal there. They got a 3-on-1. Go right to the hole.
And one. Good take. Doesn't go.
We talked about some of Dupre's strengths earlier, and that's certainly one of them because he's left-handed, and that throws off a lot of players. So he can go to the left strong. You know, in high school, a lot of people are right-handed, so as a defender, you don't have a scouting report or so on somebody, so you just play them to be right strong. So Connor can take advantage of that.
Yeah, and he did a nice job there being patient. They had numbers, and Brody was open initially, but then the defender kind of collapsed back on him. So good job by Connor waiting that out to see which way the defender would go. And then he kind of stayed right in the middle, so he just chose to take it up. So.
Yeah, and it can be so tempting because you want to be a good teammate. You want to pass the ball. It can be so tempting to try to make that pass, but it would have been stolen if he made that pass. So
the Rebels up 37-16, under a minute to play here in the second. That's a travel.
So the Rebels double team, and that gets burned there. That's number 12.
That's number 12, Caldwell, for the Cobras. Dupre, we'll see if they slow it down and look for one.
It's a lot of time left on the clock. I mean,
Kellogg, good look opposite. Billings, got away with a slide there.
You don't want to turn it over, that's for sure.
At this point now, maybe, do you think about resetting?
And I think you might have heard Coach Kimball hollering something about that.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get one.
So the Rebels going to shoot for pretty much the last shot.
That's a good look, though. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's a good job. They had a couple good looks there, but they passed it up. We'll see if they can get it back.
Now you got to take them when you get it.
Yeah, and that's...
Good luck.
And that was a little rushed, and that's the danger when you pass up those early shots, right? It doesn't happen again. So they got the shot off, which is good, but could have been a little better. But at the half, 37-18, Rebels on top. And Andy, quick synopsis of the first half. What do you see out of the Rebels that you like?
I like the pressure. I like the turnovers they're creating with that full court press. I like the ball movement so far, inside, outside. They've got a good mix of made outside shots, but also a lot of made inside shots. And Morgan's been phenomenal on the offensive board, so I like to see that.
All right, and we'll be back for the second half here. Again, I'm Danny Whitney, joined by Andy Whitney, Joel Clark on the camera, Josh and Brooks Morton behind the scenes. We're live on Western Hills Access Television, Channel 11, and YouTube, and we'll be back for the second half here in about 9 minutes.
club that Jason and I always watched.
Yep.
General Hospital. He's a kid.
All right.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Welcome
everything.
back here. We are ready for the second half of the Telstar Rebels versus the Carrabec Cobras. We're here on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube. And Andy, after that first half, if the Rebels play like they did that half defensively, they're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was just talking with some of the parents in the crowd here, and even the games that the Rebels have lost, I've always felt like they could win it. They just got to play well, and right now they're playing well. Carrabec's a good team. I think there's probably a little shell shock for them when the Rebels did come out and play well. But now it's halftime, and Carrabec knows what to expect. So we'll see what kind of adjustments the teams have made, and if the Rebels can keep up that pace, which they need to do right out of the gate and set the tone right here.
Yeah, and basketball is a game of runs, so it's if Carrabec can make one here to start the second half, they can get right back into it.
Oh, absolutely.
The Rebels start with a defensive rebound and ball right to Brody, who had a monster first half with 19 points.
Yeah, I like the idea of him taking that shot right off the bat. It's a good shot, and see it, heat check kind of thing. Make sure see if he's still going.
We'll see what the Cobras do here offensively. They're going to go with Pete Vinciri.
And that was a pretty strong take to the basket there. He had some traffic, and he did a good job holding on to that ball.
Rebels get it into Marshall, back out to Dupre.
That's all right. That's a good shot for him to take. That's the inside outside.
Kellogg with the board, but unable to convert on the pass. So Andy, early on we talked about getting the ball inside, Marshall and Kellogg. Marshall had 4 points early, but hasn't scored since. What can the Rebels do to get him going?
Just keep giving him the ball inside. He had a couple good shots that he missed. I think you were right on when you said he needs to go some of those ones in the middle. He's just got to go straight up strong. And if he does that, he's scoring more. But Carrabec, number 3.
A little bit late of a lazy defensive possession there.
And this isn't really the start the Rebels want. And Carrabec also adjusted defensively. They've got 42 on Marshall. That's a good look.
Morgan hits that in the corner. He stays hot. Another 3 for Brody. Rebels in that full court man.
Yep.
Not seeing the same intensity yet. Let's see if we can pick it up as we did in the first half. I mean, the first half, that D was smothering.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like we've taken a step back here. But we'll see if we can make the adjustment.
And like you said, we know Carrabec's a good team, so they can't do that. That's probably an illegal screen.
Yep. Cobras.
I think it's going to be Rebel ball.
I think there was.
Well, they gave an offensive
I think they gave the wrong
symbol.
signal, though. I think it was they gave the wrong signal. It's a defensive foul.
Okay.
And they just.
So the official gave the wrong signal.
Well, no, but the official just explained to the coach that it's the right signal. So maybe it's a new rule. Unfortunately, Coach Pelletier is not here to explain that one to us.
Oh, never save it under your own basket, Danny.
It's a bucket there by number 42, Desmond Robinson. But yeah, I'm not sure what that was. We'll have to check in with Coach Pelletier next time he's on to.
And I'm sorry, I always, you heard me say, oh, never save it under your own basket, just for that reason, because when you jump out of bounds, sometimes it's just better to take the out of bounds so your defense is set. When you throw it in bounds like that, if you throw it to the wrong team, they're going to have an easy layup, which is what Carrabec got there. Nice crossover.
Dupre to the basket. Kellogg with the board.
Take.
He'll get his first bucket of the game.
Yeah, like you said, Marshall and Kellogg both have some size advantage. And the Rebels have been trying to take advantage of it. They just haven't been super successful recently. Good help there.
And they force a travel there. So 42-24. Rebels on top here. 4.5 minutes to play in the third.
It was good help defense for the Rebels and that's what caused that travel. So Carrabec in a half-court man defense here. I'm going to see a fake. I thought we were going to see a pick and roll right there, Danny, but it didn't happen.
Heading for 3. Doesn't go. Cobras with the board. Get it to up to Vincieri. Swings it over to Robinson. Good fake there by Robinson.
They're going to get him with a
Kellogg
bump.
with a bump.
You see Coach Kimball explaining to Kellogg what it was a push there. That was a good call. That's only his second foul. So right now, Rebels aren't in. Neither team, I think, is in foul trouble. We haven't seen a lot of free throws.
Yeah, and the Rebels had some issues early in the season with foul trouble at a couple of home games, and then I think when they played Richmond away, and maybe one other time they had some foul trouble. But since the last few games that I've been
Deep three.
announcing here, they've done a nice job of avoiding the foul trouble. So I think that's been an emphasis for Coach Kimball and Coach Pelletier.
Oh, it's good to see him executing on that front. That's a travel, if you ask me. But
yeah, good take though by Newton. That's going to be a jump. Marshall to the floor, and hopefully he'll be able to get up here. He's down.
He hit his head somewhere.
Not sure if he hit his head. But we'll see if we can get the trainer out there to take a look.
Probably twisted his back.
Yeah, he's holding onto his back.
Side,
so hopefully the Rebels will. So yeah, while that's happening, Jewel span the banners here, and we can look at the new banners that I think it was the Boosters that sponsored those and put those up. John Elliott led the charge to consolidate the banners, clean up the gym a little bit.
We gotta go down to the pictures.
And John Elliott was in the crowd here at one point tonight. I think he's still kicking around somewhere.
And Jewel said she's going to go down to the senior pictures, which are up there as well. So kudos to those. Good to see Johnny Marshall pop up here. Hopefully he'll be all right.
Yeah, hopefully they'll give him a breather on the bench here, and hopefully we'll be able to see him get back in.
I just received a message from Coach Pelletier, and he says Johnny will be fine. So,
well, I'm glad he knows that.
So he's confident in Johnny's toughness.
Is there still snow where Coach Pelletier is at?
I don't think there is, but we'll get confirmation. I do see Coach O'Connor, middle school boys coach, attending here. He's checking out the fruits of his labor with the work that he's put in with these kids as they came up through the system. And actually another Coach Pelletier assists him, Coach Steve Pelletier.
You know, Danny, it's mildly intimidating to know that Coach Pelletier is listening to us right now because, our insight, I'd like to think we know what we're talking about, but when I listen to him, I mean, I've been playing basketball 35 years, and there's plenty to learn there. So it's we do miss him in that front.
You know, Andy, it's a three by Brody Morgan, and he stays hot. He stays hot. Andy, there can only be one first 1,000-point scorer in a school history. So, we can only do so much.
That's a deep shot. Now, Carrabec hasn't shot well from the outside tonight.
No, and they've gotten some good looks. That's not a bad look they had, but just unable to convert. But I'd like to see Morgan, see if he can stay hot. He's shooting the ball well. His points have all come in a good take there by Hedden.
Yep.
Morgan's points have all come in kind of a mixed bag. He's gone to the hoop. He's gotten some mid-range baskets and a couple of threes thrown in too.
Yeah, I don't think that they have a good matchup for him because he can play pretty big, but he can also play pretty small, which is a unique skill set to have.
See some defensive chants erupting from the crowd here. 2 minutes to play in the third.
Good defense there. He did, Morgan did a good job getting down, cutting off baseline. That's a deep three.
Robinson with the board.
Can't give up that.
Not able to finish. Morgan looking to run.
Look up.
Morgan to the basket. Not able to finish.
Nice board by Kellogg. Good hustle by Kellogg.
Cooper Morgan. There's another example of Cooper, just right place, right time.
Yeah.
Rebels in.
Yeah, his brother does all the work, and then he gets the basket.
Well, that's kind of like us up here.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but
you weren't quick enough. Rebels still in that man.
But I think we all know who does all the work and who just gets the basket. So.
And that's
number 2, right? Jackson Newton.
Yeah, Jackson Newton. He's their leading scorer, I believe.
Yeah, he's got 11 by my count.
Kellogg's gonna flash. Heading for
Wide
three.
open look. He's moving his body a little bit. I'd just like him to set his feet a little bit better on that.
Good hustle
defense
there by Kellogg to disrupt that, but Robinson comes away with the bucket anyways.
42.
A little bit sloppy there by Morgan.
You can't have that.
Turned
The
over on
Rebels,
the inbounds.
you know, it's a 21-point game, but now
Another good take. Doesn't go.
Rebels
Brody with the board.
The Rebels have got lucky with some of those. You know, Carrabec just got unlucky with some of those. Deep three. Nice board by Kellogg. Look at that. Well, Morgan was in the right spot at the right time, but it's not going to count.
So we got 38 seconds to play here in the third. Rebels up 49-28. I think we're dead even this quarter. I believe there's a 21-point game at the half. And it's a 21-point game.
Good to see Marshall coming back in here. Kellogg taking a breather.
Rebels to inbound under their own basket. See what they can run. Again, off these inbounds play, look for Dupre in the corner. That's a common secondary look here off the...
Oh, he's down again.
Bounces right back up. Again, Marshall's fading there. I'd like to see a pivot, a jump stop of some sort, get set and go straight up.
Yeah, he's got the size, height and girth on his man. So.
I'm going to critique a little bit because I think.
Nice. Rebels have got to get the board, so
yeah,
I mean.
And I was just going to say, if Coach Pelletier was here, he'd be a little critical right now because I think the Rebels are getting outworked a little bit on the defensive boards.
I would agree, and they're definitely getting worked. Now, I think it was incidental, but that is a foul. But 2.8 seconds to the end of the quarter here, and I imagine that Coach Kimball's got a message for them on the defensive side.
Don't foul here.
Yeah, don't foul.
Vincier with a
14.
good-looking shot there.
Pete Vincier.
So again, Rebels ahead 49-31, but the Cobras won that quarter by 3. So we'll see what adjustments the Rebels can make here heading into the fourth. What did you see that was maybe different from the first half there?
Well, it's what you said. The defensive intensity seemed a little less. They weren't creating nearly as many turnovers on the press, and I just think a lot of that's just intensity. But
yeah, and in fairness, it can be tough when you build a big lead like that in the first half to carry that same intensity into the second half. But I think come playoff time, that's something they'll have to work on. So
yeah, momentum's such a big thing, and as you mentioned earlier, basketball's a game of runs. So it doesn't take much. This team goes down and makes 2 more threes, and all of a sudden, you're back in the game.
Brody stayed hot that quarter though, and he now has. I have him at 24. Let me do a double check though. 9, 12, 24. 25. I have him at 25.
He's certainly leading all scorers here. Carrabec, Jackson Newton, I've got him with 11, and Pete Vincier now at 10 for Carrabec's leading scorers.
Good hustle there by Kellogg.
That's good step by Morgan. Now they got to get the board. See, that's where they're getting outworked, Danny, right there. 2 Carrabec players had position underneath the basket. The Rebels have got to have that position to get
the
boards.
Rebels. I guess they're still in man. It looked like they were in a 2-3 for a second, but it's just they're still in man. Yeah, it's good back cut by Newton.
Yeah.
That's a foul. They got away with a slap there.
Yeah, they got to corral this.
Morgan. Swings it to Dupre.
Oh, no.
Touch pass into Kellogg. And the Rebels turn that over.
Just a little
Carrabec's
sloppy.
going to get a... Oh, good hustle. Good hustle by Dupre.
Yeah, that was
Morgan looking
that
to
was
push.
great
Rebels
effort.
have numbers.
4 on.
Swings it over to Riley. Back to Morgan. And they'll set up an offensive possession here.
Dupre making a name for making a move for a defensive player there.
Yep. Morgan for 3 doesn't go. Cobras with the rebound. Yeah, Newton for the Cobras has done a nice job getting to the bucket. Hasn't finished great though, and I think if he had a few more finishes, this game could be a 5-6 point game.
Oh, for sure. I mean, the Carrabecs had at least 6 layups that they easily could have and should have made.
Hedden.
Nice.
And you know, Coach Pelletier is texting in the background saying that you know, Carrabec is a very good team, and we don't want to forget that.
No, and that's why I said that the Rebels have got to keep the gas on.
And that was number 4, I think, with that bucket.
Now it's an 11-point game here. Colton Sheave.
And Coach Kimball's going to use a timeout. Andy, what do you think Coach's message is right now?
I think he's going to tell them to clean it up on their. They got to take care of the ball, and they got to rebound. They've given the Carrabec multiple chances on several of their last, and we've even seen it. They've gotten some blocks, which is great, but they're not getting the ball back after the block. Carrabec's getting the ball, and they're having multiple chances.
Yeah, and I was just watching Coach give his message to the team, and one thing I did see him say was relax.
Yes, and that's a good point, because you are up 16, and it is the 4th quarter, so time is always on your side right now. You only, in my mind, you press it here only when you have numbers. When you don't have numbers, you don't need to push the ball.
So the Rebels up 49-33, 6 minutes to play here in the 4th. Billings is going to check in.
I want to clarify that. I mean, that doesn't mean that you're not aggressive. You can still be aggressive, but smart.
Billings checked in for Hedden to give him a blow. That was one thing that Coach said in the interview we had with him, was that he was going to maybe limit Hedden's minutes a little bit, but we haven't seen that so far. I think this might be his first blow of the game.
Yeah, he may have sat out once in the first half, but it wasn't very long.
Billings able to draw the foul here. Should be Rebel ball underneath. Marshall checking in for Kellogg.
So, you know, the Rebels, again, they need to possess the ball and take good shots.
Morgan. Good look, doesn't fall.
Board.
Brother in the same. Oh, had to skip. Inside to Morgan. Good post move
Nice
there.
move.
Cooper Morgan for 2.
And they got to get back, Danny. They're getting beat deep here.
Yeah. And that's Robinson, Desmond Robinson for the Cobras. Cooper pitches ahead to Dupre.
Nice shot.
Dupre has a couple of those off the dribble jumpers, so if they're falling, I don't mind it. And there's that speed advantage for.
No, that's not a foul.
That is Jackson Newton, number 2. He's the Cobras' leading scorer. It's 53-35, 5 minutes to play here in the 4th. We're live on Western Hills Access Television,
I think these
Channel
are
11, and YouTube.
These are the first free throws of the game for Carrabec. Marshall's got 4 fouls, so that's why he's coming out here.
There's the first foul trouble we see for the Rebels. Hedden's going to check in for him.
Yeah, the Rebels going small here with both Marshall and Kellogg on the bench.
Yeah, and I mean, it's certainly not going to be at a disadvantage. The Carrabec's relatively small as well, so.
You know, maybe the Rebels can turn it into their advantage.
Billings, Rebels with, yeah, like you said, Kellogg and Marshall on the bench, so we have Billings and Cooper Morgan off the bench. Hedden.
Nice look. That was a beautiful no-look pass. You know, good ball movement between those two.
Yeah, Brody with the finish, and that's where Brody's missed his last 3 or 4 threes, so let's see him go back inside, get going again, and then maybe step out for another 3.
Yeah, I agree. That's a great thought.
I subscribe by the philosophy that shooters shoot, but I also think you can do stuff in between to maybe get yourself going again.
Yeah, and I agree. That's you go inside when that's not happening. You go to the hole. Both teams, I've only got 2 free throws by either team, and that to me is a sign that they might not be going to the hole enough.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't mind you then taking another 3 later on, but let's mix it up and try to get it going. Newton with the ball. Rebels lead is 18. It's been pretty well steady at 18 here for the last 3 or 4
Nice
minutes.
board. That's a good, strong rebound there by Billings. Got away with a carry
looking
there.
to push.
I think, but
Flips it
we
back to Brody. Morgan has Hedden on the wing.
Oh,
Late.
that's dangerous.
It's late too. He was there, but at one point Hedden's defender was in the paint, and that would have been the time to make that pass.
Yep.
Back to Morgan, over to Billings. Billings, ooh, bump there a couple times. Hedden for 3.
Nice shot.
Rebels need him to get going. That's his second 3 of the night. He's had some games where he's had 7 or 8. So, like I said, Rebels hoping that he can heat up here as we head into the playoff stretch.
Sure. They got to keep their defense up. Been a little bit better here. You see him kind of double team the ball underneath there a couple times.
Vinceri with the rebound. Morgan with the D. Vinceri back with it.
Nice.
Billings, look ahead.
Possess it. Go to the ball.
Fine.
You hear Coach getting the timeout. A good call. So
Yeah, good job by Coach.
Billings was kind of stuck in the sideline there. What I'd like to see the Rebels do is just come to the ball a little bit quicker, a little bit more. But obviously, Coach calling the timeout there to bail him out.
Yeah, good job by Coach to save a possession there. And I think that's only the second or third that he's used, so he still has a couple for the stretch run here. 58-37. Rebels on top by 21. That was the lead at halftime, so it's dead even in the second half.
Yeah, I could give one more shout out to the Pie Hole. Again, they donated all the pizzas here tonight. It's always excellent to come here and enjoy that. So.
Yeah, and Jewel mentioned that one of the banners up on the wall is tough to see, just because of the coloring and the reflections and stuff. So that black and blue banner is River Lanes. Yeah, so we'll give a shout out to them, thank them for their donation, and as well as all the businesses up there. But since that one's hard to see, we'll give them a shout out.
It's going to be Telstar ball here, side out, and Carrabec's probably going to be pressing, I would imagine. 3 minutes to go here. And
yeah, they do extend. That's surprised it took that long to extend. If they were going to try to get back in the game,
yeah,
might have liked to see that in the third, but
because like we said, the Rebels, they can stand out here and pass the ball around the perimeter all day long. They don't care.
Good move there by Brody.
Yep.
That's a good look.
It is.
That's a good shot for the Rebels and a good opposite look there by Brody.
Yeah, they got to get back though. They can't let up on the defense.
Good job by Hedden just setting it up. See if we can get a good possession. Good shot, just like last time.
Keep going. There's Dupre. Oh, I thought it was in, Dan, but
Newton with the board.
not quite enough arc on it.
He's looking to push. We're down to a couple minutes here, so the Cobras are going to need a little bit of magic here to get back in this thing. Brody with another rebound. He's got to have, I don't know, he's got to have 15, 20 rebounds this game. I mean,
certainly leading all scorers, and certainly a big part of the Rebels' offense tonight.
yeah, and like I said, mixed bag. He has 5 threes, which we don't typically see that out of Brody. It's usually good. Cooper for 2.
Imagine Cooper in the right place at the right time.
Brody's usually good for a couple of threes a game, but I don't think I've seen him with 5 before. So Cobras are, I think, going to bring in the bench here and put up the white flag a little bit. So Coach Kimball, despite a 23-point lead with a minute to play, he's still coaching. So you gotta love to see that.
Yeah, he's telling him. I think he's telling him to hold it. He wants him to not push it out of that and turn the ball over. I think that's what he was saying.
And the Cobras did just sub all their starters, so they're into the bench. So
yeah, that's not what the Rebels need to do right now. They need to slow that down. That was a 4-on-1. Just possess the ball.
Yeah, and you see the Cobras coach over there. Again, he's still coaching. He's working on the first team and probably going over some of the things that he would like to see them do better. But it's good to see the coaches staying engaged, even in a little bit of a lopsided affair. So while we're talking about it, who's your pick for defensive player of the game?
I think it's got to be Dupree right now. That's at least his second or third steal, and I don't know. That's my thought.
All right. And since one of our loyal listeners
Rebels going to dribble it out here.
Yeah, and while they're doing that, one of the loyal listeners is a friend of Polish Dental, and they have some openings this week. So if you need your teeth cleaned, encourage you to reach out to them. They're located over at 44 Mayville, next to the Family Dollar in Bethel. So shout out to them. That's a new business and important to the community. So the Rebels will win this one. 60-37 is your final. That's a big win for the Rebels, Andy. Carrabec, despite the score, Carrabec's a good team.
Yeah, and a Class C team. They come in here with an 11-3 record, I believe, and yeah, big win for the Rebels for sure.
All right, and
who did you have for defensive player of the game?
It was a good battle. We can go with Dupre. I think Morgan was there. Marshall was there early, but he got in foul trouble. So Dupre will be the winner of defensive player of the game, and again, I think he's leading in that. So
I've got our scoring for the Carrabec boys team. I've got Jackson Newton at 13 points, Seth Price at 2 points, Colton Sheave at 4 points, Logan Caldwell with 2 points, Pete Vincier at 10 points, and Desmond Robinson with 6 points. Again, that is unofficial.
And unofficially for the Rebels, Grady Kellogg with 2, Riley Hedden with 8, Connor Dupre with 9, Cooper Morgan with 8, Johnny Marshall with 4, and the leading scorer for the Rebels, and probably the MVP of the night would be Brody Morgan with 27.
Yep.
And so again, I'm Danny Whitney. I'm joined by Andy Whitney in the booth and Jewel Clark on the camera. Just Brooks Morton and Josh Morton behind the scenes. We're here live on Western Hills Access Television and YouTube. We will be back here on Wednesday for another doubleheader, girls and boys versus Wiscasset. That will be at 5 and 6:30, we believe. And we'll be back on Friday for a doubleheader against Islesboro at 2 and 4 p.m. So we hope you can join us for those. Again, Western Hills Access Television and YouTube, Channel 11. I'm Danny Whitney. Thank you very much.
You have to